Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Take Twins podcast on a late night version of the day of recording this. The day of recording this, it is August 2nd at 12 o'clock. We are extremely tired and we have a lot for you today. We're going to basically catch up on things we've missed, recaps. We have the World Cup, we have our famous power rankings.
A couple trades going down. We have obviously NBA offseason stuff going on between Summer League and Vegas, and of course the decision part two. And then finally, we're going to talk about just our excitement for the upcoming football season and future plans for the podcast as we get ready to navigate through our senior year of high school.
Yes, indeed.
Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm your co-host, Avery Gibson.
And I'm your host, Trey Riddick.
Head to the intro.
Congratulations to Spain for winning the World Cup.
Let's go Spain.
Congratulations. I was pulling for you guys the whole time. I'm very proud.
Very much
Lamine
so,
Yamal is my second favorite player. First being Neymar. I'm so glad, especially that he's wearing the jersey. What a great game it is. Everybody thought that Argentina was going to be the team to, make a comeback, win, because they've been doing their thing, coming back in games. But I had Spain. Spain's been dominant defensively.
Tournament favorite, by the way.
Yeah.
Heading into it.
Only allowing one goal in the tournament, and I feel great about Spain. Nothing much for me to really say here about the World Cup. I thought it was great. I was very glad it was in the States. Very happy it was in the States so that everybody could witness it and enjoy it, bringing Europeans to the States so they could, enjoy our culture, enjoy food, enjoy everything. And I thought it was just a great environment to be around, especially during this summer. And I thought the term is pretty good.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the better ones that I've seen in my lifetime. And obviously, kind of getting into the sport really in 2022 when I first watched the World Cup. And obviously, I'm still trying to get into it. I got this cool Lamine Yamal Barcelona jersey at Ross. It was like $55 off of retail price or whatever. So I got it. It's pretty cool. But yeah, it definitely was just really cool to have it here in the United States and to be able to just have the culture of such a beautiful sport kind of being reintroduced to Americans in a new way, just having it here in our own backyard. The final was definitely, I mean, it had me death gripping the couch and it had me death gripping my chair pretty much the entire time. It was a close one. It was a nail biter. And yeah, in the end, Ferran Torres ended up scoring the only goal in the match. I think it was in overtime. I think it was like it was somewhere between 2 or 6 minutes in the overtime. I think. It was just a super. And to those who say it was a boring finals match, I get where those people are coming from. In my opinion, I think it was the exact opposite. I think even though it was a very defensive one, I think that was what made it so fun, was seeing Spain just take shot after shot after shot and just coming up short up until the final minutes of the game. It was a beautiful World Cup tournament. We saw all sorts of great storylines and very close races between the different awards, which we will discuss here shortly. And it just had so much to offer. And I do think if the finals if the final match was a lot more like 2022, I think we could have been in the discussion of this arguably being the greatest World Cup tournament of all time. For sure, this was just a super great one, and yeah. But going over the awards, Rodri ended up winning the Golden Ball. Mbappe won the Golden Boot, and then Spain's goalkeeper, I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. He won the it's not called the Golden Glove, is it? I'm tripping. I'm sorry, guys.
I think so.
It's a little late. I'm thinking of baseball right now because we're gonna get into that later. We we definitely need that later. But yeah, so we had Spain definitely dominated quite a few of the awards of the tournament. The Golden Ball was definitely controversial for sure. A lot of people saying that it should have gone to Messi or Mbappe or even someone like Jude Bellingham.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts on this? Because it's definitely interesting to see a midfielder winning the Golden Ball. Not that it's uncommon, but it's definitely an interesting decision, seeing how many strikers and just offensive players dominated this tournament.
I mean, you could have made the case for Bellingham. Bellingham was pretty uh really great in the tournament. I like the way England was playing up to where they got eliminated.
Even in the third place game, yeah.
Yeah, I really was rooting for England to pull through and maybe make it to the final. They were a dark horse of mine. I was cool with them or Spain winning the tournament based on Brazil being eliminated, the United States. I think they were a very strong team. Bellingham rallying this team and scoring goals and doing what he was supposed to do in this tournament
Hmm.
really would have helped him. I think you could really make a case for that. But Rodri's got it, so no need to can't take any awards back now, obviously. But that's your golden ball winner. So
Yeah, and I mean definitely not to say that he doesn't deserve this at all. I mean Spain's midfielder midfield as a whole. Sorry, Spain's midfield as a whole was just generally dominant the entirety of this tournament. And just their defense, pretty much after their first game against Cabo Verde, pretty
yeah,
much for the rest of the tournament was just on point. Um,
only allowing one goal.
yeah, only allowing one goal in the final match there, and overall just playing really dominant football. So for sure, he definitely played a very big role in that win of the cup for Spain. But definitely an interesting decision. Uh, he definitely would not have been my first choice, considering we had again Messi at the age of 39 putting up I think 7, 8 goals this tournament, and coming second in the Golden Boot race, which we will talk about here in a second. But yeah, definitely not my first choice. But still very deserving award for him. Obviously, he won it, so you can't say he wasn't deserving. He was definitely played an insanely huge role for that win for Spain, and you know, considering they allowed 0 shots on goal to Argentina up until like the last bit of the tournament, where I think they only got one or two. Um, yeah, I mean, you definitely got to give them credit. Spain's defense again was just utterly dominant, pretty much the entirety of this tournament. And he was able to. He went out there and he did what he needed to do, to be a key role in this to bring home the second ever World Cup win to Spain. Um, and yeah, and then moving on to Mbappe winning the Golden Boot. And while this isn't necessarily voted on, this is just who gets the most goals. This is definitely seen as controversial by some people. I've noticed, seeing that this was he scored 2 goals in the third place game, which obviously a lot of people would say is fraudulent because obviously France was eliminated by Spain. I think was it 2-1 was the final score in that final four. Um,
Something.
Obviously France was eliminated, and and so a lot of people are saying it was fraudulent in the fact that third place game it doesn't really matter. You were already eliminated.
It was
Oh, was it 2-0? 2-0. People saying that it shouldn't have mattered because it was a third place game that shouldn't count considering they were already eliminated to begin with. I heard people saying that, and I get it. It's definitely leaves a bit of a bad taste in people's mouths, considering he was already eliminated, and people are saying, well, maybe his goal count should have stayed at where it was at the point where he was eliminated. But at the end of the day, it's still part of the tournament. The third place game has always been a key part of the tournament. And it was a banger match to be honest with you. I mean, third place tournament, finals match, knockout stage, group stage, I don't care. That game was just purely entertaining. It was like watching Rams versus Chiefs 2018 all over again. Um, but yeah, I think I'm fine with it. Mbappe regardless, just played his heart out in this tournament. And although he wasn't able to bring another World Cup back to France, it was still just a generational tournament for him. And I don't see a problem with it. I don't know if you do, but
Nah, you summed it up for uh the segment.
yeah, I mean, just at the end of the day, a third place game is still part of the tournament.
Yeah.
I don't think that should discredit what you did. And yeah, I think he's totally deserving of the Golden Boot, and is also, I think, the only player to win two Golden Boots in their career. Mbappe is definitely already one of the greatest. Definitely got to be somewhere in the top 20 of the greatest to ever play the sport. And he's only 27. I mean, he's just going to continue, right? I think 27. He's just going to continue to dominate. And yeah, it's safe to say he did not put up the Mbappe special in this year's World Cup.
For
And
example, nothing.
and that about sums up our World Cup segment here for tonight's episode. We're going to keep this a little brief, probably somewhere from 30 40 minutes because it's late and we are tired. And we got to go back to school on Monday. But yeah, anyways, Trey, bring us into the next segment because I know you're excited to talk about this
Yes, sir.
breaking news that has just occurred about 30 minutes ago.
We got Scooble. We have
Oh, boy.
officially got another pitcher on the roster. I'm gonna do a new little post for myself here. Gotta hit the Money Manziel post.
Hey, that's the Money Mike pose. What you talking about?
I'm hitting my Money
That's
Manziel
Money Mike.
post.
That's Money Mike. Should have been an all-star, by the way. That's Money Mike right there.
But we did it. We got our star pitcher. In my opinion, we really didn't need him to be successful during this time. We're already the best in baseball at the moment. Switching over to a Yankees fan perspective, I think that he maybe should have went to the Yankees or a team like the Braves, needing a little bit more pitching help.
Yeah, we definitely need it right now.
But I'm definitely cool with this. It definitely solidifies a spot, maybe for a three-peat and another chance at the World Series. So I'm never gonna complain about that. So I'm down with that for just cause, you know. And we didn't even give up a lot for him, so that makes it 1,000 times better for us. I would be more excited, but it's late and I'm definitely tired.
Yeah.
I would be screaming, but I can't.
Yeah, we got this breaking news about, I think it was probably like 30, 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, facts.
And legitimately, I got the notification from MLB. I threw my phone over there on the chair, and I pretty much just fell down on my knees, and I asked why. Because, exactly like he said, I personally just don't think this was a need for the Dodgers, and at this point, they're pretty much just building the Avengers out there with the LA Rams. The Dodgers saw the Doomsday trailer, and they got inspired. It's pretty much what happened.
LA or nowhere.
This is definitely pretty scary. Now putting him in a rotation with arguably one of the best pitchers in baseball in Yamamoto, and as if they weren't already the favorites to probably win the title, looks like they're probably going to go for a three-peat. And it's not great to see when you see a back-to-back Cy Young winner going to a back-to-back World Series champion. But at the end of the day, we just kind of it's the Dodgers world. We're all living in it. I guess we just kind of have to deal with it right now. And yeah, hopefully the Braves can go out and possibly get a different Tiger starting pitcher in Casey Mize, and possibly go out and get someone like Luis Arias or someone like that to fill in at shortstop. If we can get a couple relievers, possibly a starting pitcher and Luis Arias, I would be happy. That'd be a perfect deadline. The Braves have already gotten Lane Thomas from the Kansas City Royals, which is good outfield depth for sure, to pair up with Ronald Acuna, Michael Harris, Yastrzemski, Dubon, and Eli White. Yeah, and it's not convenient to see. I was really hoping that the Braves would get Tarek Skubal, but here we are. Sometimes things just happen. And other than that, I mean, the only other really big move that's happened is Luis Castillo to the White Sox, which I think is a good change of scenery for him, because if we're really thinking about it, Luis Castillo has just kind of been out of it for the past couple of years.
At the time, Him going to the Mariners at the time, I thought was a pretty big deal.
I did
Not as
too.
bad, but you start to hear his name start to fade out a little bit. Going to Chicago, I think is going to be really well for them. You know, they got Murakami. They have
Already
some,
being a first place team, yeah.
yeah, they got something around there that could do something. So I like this trade a lot.
I think it's definitely worked out pretty well in the White Sox favor this season, picking up kind of the quote rejects and kind of putting together this team of just built on the power of friendship and just pure like human spirit. I mean, getting Miguel Vargas from the Dodgers and turning him into one of the better third basemen in the league. I definitely think that these White Sox coaches can work with him and possibly get him back, even to just being like a 3 ERA guy, like a guy who can go out there and get you 5, 6, 7 innings, like 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 a minimum like anywhere from like 6 to 12 strikeouts a game, allowing minimal runs, and like if he can just go out there and give you a few quality starts to in the second half of the season, that's huge for a team that's already leading their division and definitely not by much. Um, so definitely, it's a move I see a lot of potential in for Chicago. And yeah, we'll see where this goes for the White Sox. And I'm rooting for y'all to make the playoffs. Any White Sox fans watching, I think it would be really cool to see, especially just coming off the abysmal season that they had not too long ago. And yeah, you got anything else? Is there anything else I'm missing?
Nope.
Cool. We're gonna head into the power rankings. Um,
Number one,
Number one,
L.A. Strong,
let's not get it twisted. It's the Dodgers.
Dodgers, L.A. Strong.
They're not moving anywhere off this top spot. I don't see in the foreseeable future. They're probably going to stay here for the rest of the season. Um, Not much to say here. Tarek Skubal, Yamamoto's pitching great. The Dodgers are just again having a really great season, and that's even with Mookie Betts just kind of just not having his best season, and Andy Pages kind of not falling off a cliff, but definitely not performing up to the level that he performed at pre All Star game. These guys are just continuing to just dominate and just to be together as a team. Shohei Ohtani is definitely winning MVP.
Again,
It's pretty much he's pretty much a ride in at this point. He's a shoe in, and yeah. So number two, the Brewers. So again, not a big shock here. The Brewers actually right now have a half a game lead over the Dodgers in the wild card, so they are currently have the top seed. They're kind of neck and neck with the Dodgers right now, and then with the Braves coming back into picture here post All Star game, it's going to be interesting to see the seeding. But yeah, the Brewers again just playing really dominant baseball. Gosh, what do you mean? Dude, Jacob Mizorowski is the best pitcher in baseball. It's not even close. He suffered from arm fatigue and then came back and tossed 12 strikeouts. Yikes. This team is scary. Their pitching is great. That's with Brandon Woodruff still being on the IL, I think, up to this point. I could be wrong. Or he's back. I'm not quite sure. He's kind of a wild card when it comes to injury. And obviously, guys like William Contreras just doing their thing and just putting up great numbers out there consistently. Former Braves legend William Contreras, by the way. You can thank us, Milwaukee. And yeah, obviously, Brewers just doing their thing. And number three.
the Atlanta Braves.
Yep, so I think we dropped down to fourth in our last edition, but we're back here at third. Definitely playing better baseball since post All Star break. Cuna's come back, already has 2 home runs. Again, just continues to prove that when he's on the field, he's a top 5, maybe even top 3 player in baseball. Drake Baldwin, after having an over 32 streak, has just been continuing to show his sheer dominance at the plate and just continuing to mash home runs and hit for high average. Being the best catcher in baseball. Matt Olson just hit his 30th home run of the season. He's just continuing to just be, in my opinion, just, he's one day he's going to be go down as one of the greatest Atlanta Braves to ever play for the city. He's just doing his thing, playing every game, playing good defense, hitting home runs. The pitching is scary. The bullpen is the only thing that scares me. This bullpen has not been good at all, except for like Dylan Lee. Rizal Iglesias has kind of dropped off a cliff. But the bullpen can be fixed depending on how this trade line goes with Alex Anthopoulos. Other than that, though, this offense is not necessarily a problem for me. I think these guys are gelling really well together. And yeah, and then number 4, the Tampa Bay Rays. Trey.
Not much. They look to be a strong team this year, a very solid team that looks to be competitive within the AL. The AL is pretty much a mess right now, so I'm
Yeah,
not really don't really have much to say about the Rays. They've been pretty much been doing well this
they've been a bright
season,
spot in a pretty dark place. Junior Caminero, obviously, just
cooking up for them, doing
continuing to be arguably the best young
that
star
power.
in baseball, and really being the only power hitter on this team,
Yeah.
really, on a team that's just been dominating with the small ball and continuing to dominate. Drew Rasmussen is continuing to be one of the most underrated pitchers in baseball, posting up like a 10-4 record right now with like a 2.9 ERA, I think.
Hmm.
He's nasty. And yeah, the Rays are just continuing to have the top seed in the AL. I don't think anyone saw this coming, but here they are. They're just showing their sheer and utter dominance. And then number 5,
Chicago,
Chicago Bears, coming into our personal fifth spot.
the Cubs.
Yeah, the Cubs with the Yankees falling out after kind of struggling this post All Star game break, not knowing necessarily when Aaron Judge is going to come back. Ben Rice hasn't quite produced at the same level since the All Star game.
Yeah,
Cody Bellinger is just continuing to do his thing. This team
injured,
is fine. The Yankees are fine, but for now
dealing with
they're
some
yeah. For
injuries.
now they've just kind of fallen out the top 5, considering all things considered, especially with injuries. The Cubs have filled in at our 5th spot.
They're that sneaky team, man. I continue to take time and doubt them, and they just come back and start to meet expectations
Yep.
a little bit at times, and they start to shock you at certain points in time during the season, and they just come along and start playing ball. So
Yeah.
it's very interesting to see the Cubs at this spot. I'm not really surprised. The Yankees have dropped out, obviously, due to them not meeting the expectations and not playing as well. I know injuries have been happening with the Yankees, but the Cubs round out at 5.
Yeah, Cubs 63 wins. They were definitely pretty inconsistent, but they've definitely kind of seemed to found a groove heading into the All Star break, and they've continued to be playing pretty good baseball since then. If you ask me, PCA arguably, if it weren't for Shohei Otani, would not even arguably. I think PCA, if not for Shohei Otani, wins the MVP. He is continuing to also just be one of the best young stars in the league, already posting up a 2020 season, batting I think anywhere around 280 to 290, and just kind of being that after being kind of inconsistent for the first couple months, now has definitely found his groove and is being that anchor holding down for that Cubs offense for sure. But you even got guys like Dansby Swanson, who the batting average may not be high, but the power is still there, and the offense is gelling. The pitching has been pretty fine up to this point, and yeah, Cubs at number 5. So here you go. There you go. Dodgers, Brewers, Braves, Rays, and Cubs. Rays just continuing to really be the only consistent AL team in our power rankings for this year, which again is just shocking. They definitely were not. They definitely were not my first choice to be anywhere near even second place in the AL East, or really anywhere in the top, in the wild card, considering the Blue Jays coming off a World Series and you have the Yankees. But yeah, so it's pretty interesting to see the dynamic here. The NL feeling really dominant for the first time in what feels like a hot minute, even though they got smacked around in the All Star game, which I find pretty funny. And yeah, so now we're gonna head into the National Basketball Association, the NBA. We have a couple things to talk about, including the decision 2.0. I'm gonna let Trey take this one away.
All right, the decision 2.0, LeBron James decides to go to Philly. He decides to team up with Maxi, Edgecombe, VJ Max, Embiid, Jalen Brown, and that squad is going to be a stacked one if they can stay healthy. I don't believe the hype and everyone's saying that this team is going to win the finals off rip because LeBron just comes to his team and makes impact. This team has a very injury proven history, especially with Embiid because he cannot stay healthy and he's missed like 140 games or something like that within the past couple years. I definitely don't trust this team at all, and everybody's just been in the midst of just hopping on the
Recency bias
Yeah, they've
and
been hopping on the LeBron train, just being biased and just not showing any love to any other teams. There's other teams that can compete and give you crazy NBA seasons, but they want to go straight to LeBron. I think that's because of this move. I've already had Michael Jordan as the GOAT, but this just solidifies that LeBron has left a team. Now, I'm not going to say anything disrespectful or like that, but he's moved on to his fourth team, and this team is legitimately full of stars. And he's going. We already know he's got a 2-year contract worth 8 million, and the point of those 2 years is to win 2 championships. And he wants Michael Jordan's. He wants to tie Michael Jordan with 6 rings. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't know if he even wins those 2 rings, but I just don't like the fact that like I could understand going back home to Cleveland. I could understand Miami because those familiar places. It wouldn't be that overpowering in that sense, and I could get down with the Golden State Warriors because they are an older team. You know, Draymond's restructured his contract. I just don't like this. It's not very shocking to me because they were in the midst of one of the most important teams that wanted it. I feel like Philly was a little bit greedy and everybody's being biased and going crazy over it. Once again, I'm not trying to be that type of person that's disrespecting or hating or any of that, but there's just no need for it, man.
Yeah, joining a starting five, like he said, of Jalen Brown, VJ Edgecombe, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and now LeBron James. You definitely look at it, and yeah, the injury history and concerns are there. Um, but obviously, I think everyone's kind of blindsided when this first happened. Oh my gosh, 76ers are going all the way, which is fair. Um, but yeah, when you really look into it, just the injury history, and it's a bit concerning for sure. Let's not get it twisted. This is a team that already made it to the second round of the
Got
playoffs.
swept, by the way.
Made it to the second round of the playoffs, beating the Celtics. Um, and just looking at it, like I'm gonna be honest here, if Joel Embiid and LeBron James both, or even just one of them, stay healthy for like 3/4 of the season here, this team at least makes it to the Eastern Conference Finals, bare minimum. Um, this is just a team that, like, yeah, while the injury history is there, the potential is like the sky is the championship. You know, there's really no ceiling. You're going straight to the sky if this team stays healthy. This team has the chance to genuinely just be one of the most dominant teams ever, really, if they can all stay healthy. But that's a big if. That's a big thing to ask for. So I'm personally, it's definitely a big I'll believe it when I see it type moment. I need to see like a good like few quarters into the season, like I'm talking like like January February to see if this team is legit. But yeah, uh, it'll definitely be interesting to see the dynamic here. You also got to look. I think just the usage on all five of those players is going to skyrocket. I mean, you're putting together pretty much like superstars together. Like you have teams where obviously they're supporting guys who are stars or good bench players. You basically just assemble super teams that are all going to want the ball, and just the usage rate is going to be through the roof. So it'll be interesting to see the dynamic there.
I'm calling this the 2020 Brooklyn Nets.
I wouldn't even be surprised. A lot of people are saying that Jalen Brown actually gets traded halfway through the season. for some other aspects, for some aspects, sorry, aspects, prospects, um, or bench players or whatnot, or draft picks. And I wouldn't be surprised to see it. I think just, I mean, look, you've already got one of the uh, more bigger growing stars in the NBA with VJ Edgecombe. You've got, when healthy, arguably the second best offensive center in the league behind Jokic. And obviously you have Tyrese Maxey, who was already a really great player and arguably just had his breakout season, posting up 28 points per game, or around that range. It'll be interesting to see the dynamic. And I'm all for it. I think it's going to be really fun just to see these guys, especially if they gel together and they can figure out something good here. This If they can really figure it out, this is a team that's at least winning 60 games, and that even if Embiid or LeBron, even if just one of them stays healthy, this is a team that wins 60 games regardless.
The next thing is the Warriors win the Summer League and Yaxel Lindborg wins Summer League MVP. I think Yaxel, the future's bright for you in Golden State as a young rook.
Blood, blood knows Yaxel Lindenborg, but not Shakespeare.
But there's nothing much for me to say about that. Um, Unless you want to add on or say anything about it.
We've got a lot of we got a big bright future ahead of us in the NBA. We have a lot of talented stars. And when I say this could go down as arguably a top 3 draft class of all time, I mean it.
DeBonsa, Wilson, Peterson.
Yeah, you've got
Lindborg,
DeBonsa coming in as the first overall pick, who has a super high ceiling. You've got Caleb Williams, who is already being compared, Caleb Williams. Wrong Chicago player. My bad. Yo, sorry. You got Caleb Wilson, who I know it's just a summer league, but is already being compared to Michael Jordan of all people.
Slow down there, young bloods.
I'm gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait a bit for that. But I mean, just seeing the numbers he was putting up, not only on the offense but also on the defense as well, just being on both sides of the court. Darren Peterson offensively just looks dominant, posting up I think 28 points in his first summer league game. And again, that's not even mentioning a couple other young stars there like Cameron Boozer, and obviously we mentioned Yaxel. And then obviously if Acuff figures things out as well, this class is so deep. It's going to be a generational draft class. I can't wait to see where this goes. The future is bright in the NBA. And you got anything else to say?
That covers it for the NBA.
Cool. Move us into the last little segment here.
I'm excited. The NFL football in general is almost here. I'll open up with the NFL. You know, we got training camp going on for all 32 teams. The Giants look to be interesting. We're out in West Virginia for training camp. I'm hearing OBJ made play of the day Saturday. I'm hearing, our team looking well. Jackson Dart. I've seen clips of Malik Neighbors post knee surgery, that knee injury. He looks pretty well. Him and OBJ were in sync during drills. I like the way this is playing. Abdul Carter is one to look out. He's apparently having a great camp, dominating. Tyrone Tracy seems to be slept on. Scatterboo looks well. The defense looks well. Edmonds gets the green dot. He will be the play caller as the linebacker for the defense, the leader, the cap. Pretty good so far. That's what I like to see from my team. I like it. Nothing much.
Yep. And as for the Falcons,
In Rush we trust.
First off, Falcons, please pay Bijan soon. Please. I really appreciate it. Best running back in the NFL, by the way. I would hate for us to lose him eventually. That'd be pretty awful, No pressure, though. No pressure. No, but seriously, Bijan sitting out camps right now. And, I'm not going to call him petty, everyone kind of does it, and I'm getting a text from my friend saying, dude, it's over. I'm going to assume he's talking about school going to the Dodgers. Whew. Anyways, Yeah, I'm not gonna call him petty, and everyone does it. Everyone sits out training camp until they get paid, and Bijan deservingly so. Well, deserves to be paid. He's the best running back in the NFL by far, and is probably going to be the one to break CJ2K's scrimmage yards record, considering how close he came last season, only being I think 300 yards off, and that was with Tyler Algier taking some carries away from him. And yeah, this is a running back who I genuinely think can be MVP caliber and can be the first MVP to win since AP in 2012, I think it was. But yeah, training camp's going pretty well. I'm seeing good things from AJ Terrell and Drake London one on ones. Things just seem to be everyone seems to be kind of gelling. Matthew Bergeron was extended. I'm excited for this season. I think the NFC South is in kind of a weird spot right now, and the Falcons could easily come in and swoop in and take first place. But we'll have to see. Again, it's just another one of those. I'll have to believe it when I see it. But yeah, I'm excited, especially for college football, though. Gunnar Stockton coming in for his second year at starting the helm for my Georgia Bulldogs, and I personally think he is my favorite to win the Heisman this year. He's got so much great potential. I think Georgia can really, and I mean really, go and win the Natty this year. This team looks really good. The ceiling is super high for them. I'm excited for football, man. You know, World Cup was fun, but it's time for American football to come back and do its thing. It's going to be a great season.
I'm excited for my USC Trojans. I'm hearing that we're going to be a sleeper pick. I think we're very sleepers that could very sneak in into the college football playoffs. A lot of teams has fallen off, and I think we're one of the teams that could do it. I have very much trust in Mayava, Wayman Jordan. I love this roster. I think we could do something this year. Uh, USC. Hopefully, you look at this. I would love to play for y'all. I love y'all. This is my school through and through. I'm deeply a diehard. I want to go back home to LA, and this is the squad that I love since a kid, and I'm excited for what's going to be the future for this team. That's all I got for college football. I know there has been a lot of Big Ten media, SEC media, got a lot of coaches and players talking in recent days and weeks, and I'm let's just get it going.
Yeah, it's going to be a great season regardless. I'm just excited. This has felt like the longest off season of all time. And yeah, so other than that, really just quickly just going to go over. So it's going to be a busy year. So high school seniors here in the building. Finally, we made it. Final year. I'm excited. But yeah, he's got football. I've got band. It's gonna be busy for sure, and we were not consistent at all last year. But I'm here to tell you and promise you that we are for sure, absolutely this time going to at least try our hardest to be consistent for y'all. We have all this equipment. We want to be open, and we want to be able to be here for y'all, and build up this podcast to just one day be one of the biggest. We want to be up there with the best and the biggest, the best of podcasts
I want
in
to
the
be up
sports
there
world.
with the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark and them. So many sports podcasts that I look at that I just want to be like maybe one day have people like Ryan Clark, people have athletes on the show. I would love to get to interview people, maybe some teammates down the line one day. I would just love for this to expand and just to be great. Have other supporters or content creators or people in the media just come and show some love and give us tips because I'm always down to be better as a player or as a person, as a student, or as something that I'll take serious because this is what we love to do.
But yeah, we're excited. We're gonna try our hardest. And it's gonna be a crazy senior year. I'm super excited to just finally be done and be able to graduate.
That's gonna be fun.
And we're gonna take this into college. You know, he's gonna bring some of the equipment with him if he go when he goes off to Cal. Not if when he goes off to California to USC because he's gonna make it. I'm gonna have him bring some of the equipment, and we're gonna continue to go back to the good old digital days. I'll still be here on the set as much as I can, and yeah, we're gonna make this happen for y'all because we want to do this. This will always be a passion. We never want it to feel like a chore. We want this to be a passion, and yeah. I think that's it. We clocked in about 40 minutes here.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anything else you want to say?
Shout out to all my teammates at Alatuna. I love support y'all that have tapped in, have asked me questions. Shout out to people at school that have came up to me and asked if I'm the person that does this podcast. Yeah, I love it. Don't be afraid to ask him questions too. He's the one of the main important pieces and keys of this podcast as well. And it's just lovely to do. So I appreciate every single one of y'all. Don't be afraid to come up and talk to me at school if y'all see me.
Me neither.
Everybody that watches, go share this to everybody that you know. USC, I'm coming. Or any other college or any other school.
UGA.
I'm down.
I'm coming.
I'm down to any other school.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's everything for this evening. I'm gonna go off and go edit this episode and go to bed.
Yes.
The editing will probably be kind of simple on this episode. But yeah, we love you guys. We're going to rock with y'all. We're going to have fun.
Let's vibe.
Let's vibe out. We'll see you guys in the next episode. I'm your co-host, Avery Gibson.
You already know it's Trey Riddick. Let's go.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.